Listen, guys, 𝐴𝑁𝐺𝐸𝐿𝑂'�'𝑆 with you. Welcome to my channel and my page, and I am again here with you with another spiritual content. So today's subject, I think, is also going to be very interesting for most of you, specifically for those people who are thinking or practicing the power of manifestation or the law of attraction. There are a lot of, I would say that, like the articles on the internet and the informational resources about the law of attraction, as well as a lot of books that we can find about the law of attraction. But one thing that I would like to specifically tell you about this is that the subject is going to be very interesting because it touches the subject that most of those books and most of those informational resources about the law of attraction and the powers of manifestation is not being emphasized or actually written, I'm saying. So in other words to say, today we're going to try to dive into the subject why for some people the manifestation does not work. Why for some people, no matter how they're trying, whether it is the affirmations or other unique ways of manifestation or techniques of manifestation, somehow does not seem to work. And I, as a spiritual life coach and a spiritual guide myself, lately been diving a lot into the subject in order to understand kind of the concept behind it, and to be able to actually make this little video for you so that you can also understand. And I was able to find out some very interesting links between why the manifestational rituals or why the manifestation does not work for some people but somehow do seem to work for other people. And because of this, I've decided to make this video so to help you also understand how it works and what is the main, I would say that what is the main obstacle that can stop you from manifestation if you practice manifestation in your daily life. As a spiritual life coach, after I do my tarot or astrological readings and taking a look at my clients' ongoing situation, I usually turn to spiritual life coaching techniques if necessary. If not, then we skip that part. But if it's necessary for my clients to actually start reprogramming their subconscious mind, as we know, everything is coming from the subconscious mind, as the subconscious mind is, in other words, called the collective mind. And a lot of times what we're thinking, what we are actually analyzing consciously is not exactly the same with what's going on in our subconscious mind. And as we know, the powers of manifestation or the law of attraction is more deeply related to our subconscious mind or collective mind rather than the conscious mind, because the conscious mind is only deeply related to the physical world, to the tangible world that we're dealing with on everyday life basis. When it comes to the subconscious mind, this is where the ocean of all the experiences that we've had throughout our life, and not only us but also our ancestors had, and that's where all the talents, all the disadvantages, as well as all the weak points and strong points are being accumulated. So that's why, again, going back to the subject, I've decided to make this short video for you to explain to you why for some people manifestation may work, and for others, no matter how hard they try, it doesn't work. So one of the first things that I noticed while I was investigating this and while I was reading a lot about this and going through different informational resources, as well as through internet or the books that I read, I've come to a point of understanding that it is all about being in a right state of mind, what it means. In other words to say, usually what I've come to realize and understand that the manifestation will actually most likely work for you if you do the manifestation rituals or the manifestation techniques, no matter what kind of technique you're using. It might be a kind of affirmations, writing down the affirmations. It might be 333, it might be 777, which is, again, you can find those techniques on the internet. Why for some people those techniques seem to be like on point and work like this, and for others it may take time or effort, or even worse, it may not show any results and turn out to be even worse. Again, we're going back to this exactly the same statement that I made before about the state of mind when you're doing this manifestation. So what I realized is that out of all the researches I made, I've come to a point that if we are in a good place mentally, if we're in a good place, with our mental state and how we feel about manifestation, then it's most likely to work for you. But if we're doing that out of desperation or despair, this is where the manifestation may not work or even turn out to be worse. Because remember, universe does not, or the universal powers does not understand what is bad or what is good. What it understands is the way you are stating your manifestation, the way how you are putting out there, and the way that we actually operate with the subconscious mind. In other words to say, let me give you a little example. If we are trying to do our manifestation techniques out of desperation, because we're in a depressive state of mind, because we feel lost, because we feel depressed, because somebody, maybe our close person left us or beloved person left us, or we lost something in our life and we're being in a really desperate state of mind, and that's when we decide to do the manifestation, then it's most likely that the manifestation is not going to work out the way that you want. Why? Because actually the energy behind the manifestation that we're putting out there is not positive but negative, because our subconscious mind is somehow being more focused on the negative impulses and on the negative situations that have happened to us, and that kind of pushes us or pushed us to the desperate steps of kind of using the manifestation techniques. This is where it's less likely to work. Why? Because the intention is not coming from the positive aspect, but it's coming from desperation, from despair, and from the negative aspect. So imagine it this way. Let me give you a little example like that kind that you could probably try to link with this. Let's say that you are in a sea, right? And you're just swimming for yourself, and all of a sudden the waves of the sea, which we are going to actually compare to the unexpected problems that's coming along our life or a path in the life, all of a sudden the big waves of the sea start really hitting you. So usually the people who are professional swimmers or the safeguards, they tell us at that point to maintain and keep the control and not giving into the emotions, because guess what? If we get emotional, if we just kind of turn off our rational mind, then we start panicking in the sea because the waves hit us, which is a normal human reaction. Absolutely. But one thing is this, as you know, when the waves hit you, the more you're going to resist it, the most likely it's going to suck you in. So the same thing about the negative energy. So if we are gonna just start panicking, and if we're just gonna put our intentions of manifestation out of desperation, out of fear, out of all the negative energies that we're being like kind of hit by, then it's less likely to give us the result. It's most likely that you are going to be sunk in by that negative energy of the wave that has just hit you. So what a lot of professional swimmers at this point actually advise us is like not to panic and try to keep the stillness and calmness in the situation when you're being hit by the wave. And like when we swim, sometimes you've probably seen yourself and experienced yourself, when we just lay down on the water, like, we just put our hands and our head is above the hand. So what happens? We're flowing, right? We're floating on top of the water. So like the waves, no matter how bad they can hit us, still we're in control because we're not giving into our emotions, we're not panicking, and we're trying to use our rational mind. Even though I'm telling you, I'm repeating once again, it may not be easy, but this is a one way of survival, a one way to survive those hits of the waves when they hit you, right? So the same thing about the energy of attraction or the energy of manifestation. So like, let's say that if we all of a sudden decided to start using the manifestation techniques when we're in a desperate place, when we're in a depressive state of mind, when we're upset about something, and we decide to do this, then it's less likely going to work, because still somehow our subconscious mind is being more focused on the negativity and the negative aspects and the negative sides of the situation rather than on the positive, right? And if you notice, usually the manifestation manifestation works for people who are not doing those techniques out of desperation or out of the loss or out of the worries or out of the anxiousness or anxiety. They do it but because they do it in the right state of mind, when they feel quite calm, when they feel quite confident, when they're actually in a good state of mind. So, which makes sense at this point, because when you're in a better place mentally in your life, so your subconscious mind is more focused on a positive outcome rather than on the negative outcome, or avoiding the negative outcome. So the same thing is exactly about the powers of manifestation, about the techniques of manifestation. Well, we can also, as an example, take the magic spells, right? A lot of people who believe in magic spells, a lot of people who believe in the esoterics and use the magic spells for their own purposes, right? When we're using these different kind of spells of attracting something into our life, which is, in my opinion, is also kind of a similar technique of manifestation, whatever it is. It just depends on the tools that you're using and the energy and the focus that you're putting, concentration that you're putting into those spells or into those spell work, right? But it's less likely to give you a result if you're doing this out of desperation or out of negative experiences that you've had because you've been hurt, because you are still carrying that negative energy. It's less likely to work for you the way that you want it, because your subconscious mind currently is not being focused or concentrated on the positive outcome, even though you think rationally. But as I mentioned earlier, subconscious mind is very different to the subconscious mind. Consciously, we might think that we want something, right? But subconscious mind, however, operates in its own way. And that's why even throughout the years of psychological and parapsychological investigations and researches, the professionals and the experts have not yet been able to find out what is exactly the subconscious mind and how it's operating. We know some sort of parts of it, of course, because of which we start, going deeper into that subject. But at the same time, we still don't know what is the subconscious mind. Usually a lot of parapsychologists, they call the subconscious mind as an ocean, where our conscious mind is a dot in this ocean. So understanding that, we can clearly say that the subconscious mind is a lot more broader, a lot more bigger than we can even imagine ourselves, and specifically considering that it is believed that subconscious mind also holds the experiences, the talents, and everything that our ancestors have had in us. They are a part of us, right? And because of that, as the main purpose of this video that I made today is because of reading and investigating and also researching a lot of different kind of informational resources. One of the guarantees that you can get a manifestation would be to be actually in a good state of mind rather than in a negative state of mind. Once you do this, guess what? Because your subconscious mind is already calm, it feels peaceful, then you activate the positive energy. But once you're doing the manifestation techniques, whatever techniques you're using, out of desperation, out of fear, out of the sense of the loss or the pain, then it may most likely attract the negative kind of results, or may not attract any results at all. And at this point, this is where a lot of people give up on manifestation or the powers of the universe or the powers of subconscious mind. So the best thing in this current situation would be actually to wait to heal ourselves before we decide to step into the level of manifestation rituals or manifestation techniques. And once we feel more fulfilled with ourselves and more aligned with ourselves, then that can mean that specifically that we are most likely to attract what we want in a positive aspect, not in a negative aspect, not coming from the negative experiences or the negative consequences that we've had recently in our life, but trying to focus actually on the positive aspects of our life, because we are already in a good mentally or spiritually in a good place. And that's what is the guarantee of attracting the positive outcome from the manifestation techniques. So what I would suggest at this point for all of you guys who are actually going through hard times, at that point, it is very necessary to take a time for yourself, maybe even to isolate yourself, not completely, of course, but from anything, from any negative triggers that triggers you, and just, try to focus on self healing. And once you feel that now you're in a better place mentally and physically or even spiritually, then you can start manifesting, or then you can start using the manifestation techniques, because this is where exactly you're going to see more of a positive results rather than no results at all, or negative results if we are doing it from the negative aspect or from the negative state of mind that we can be at sometimes. Well, I hope that this short video was helpful for you, and if it was, please feel free to leave your comment down this video, and also I'm gonna leave my social media down below this video as well. You can feel free to follow my Instagram, follow my TikTok, as well as, of course, feel free to share this content with your friends who are a lot into manifestation or the abilities of subconscious mind, as well as the universal powers that we usually talk about in my videos. And I'll see you soon. Stay well.